Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Suri Sessions. Today let's discuss about another important topic in the SQL, which is wildcards. So let's discuss what is wildcards, why do we need this, and what is the importance of wildcards when doing the select statements, and what are the operators or commands we use where we can use these wildcards. So to start with, to give a glimpse about wildcards, what is wildcard? Wildcards are used in the select statements. So whenever we do select star from the table name, there are some situations where we need to use some wildcards to simplify your search. So you use it along with the select statements and you will use it as a substitute. The substitute in the sense, say for example, you want to search for the particular character but you don't know the complete character. You might remember, okay, it starts with something or it ends with something. So in those scenarios you could use wildcards. And similarly, yes, if you want to find more than one character or for one character, so it can be for a character or multiple characters. And most importantly, wildcards are used with like command in conjunction with where clause. So as we already discussed about select statements, which includes where clause, so we are going to club around where clause with the like command where we use all these wildcards. So as I said, like we are going to predominantly use the like command to play around with these wildcards. So in a nutshell, we got these are the wildcards listed over here. So there are 5 essential wildcard characters we are going to use in the SQL queries. The first one is percent. Percentage basically denotes the character's position, whether the percentage it's starting with that character or ending with that character or including that character at any position. It denotes about percentage. I've given some examples where we detail separately about percent. And the second thing is underscore. So underscore wildcard character will be used as a substitute for one character. Say for example, Suri, if you don't know, if you don't want to put s at the start, instead you can put underscore and uri. You can use like that. So this wildcard is used for that. And square brackets. Square brackets, we use it if you want to use it to find some list of characters within the search criteria. And the next one, a caret or an exponent. So here this is the opposite to square brackets, where here we don't want to find for that particular set of characters but everything else. And hyphen, this is basically denotes the range. Say if you want to find some particular range like a to z or 1 to 10, you can use this particular wildcard. So let's talk about some examples. So I have listed out few examples which covers on percent, as this is the most widely used wildcard. So as I said, percent denotes the character's position. So you, depending on the character and depending on the uses of the percentage, the search criteria differs. If you start with the first one, say for example, if you use a select statement where say like the column like t percent, that means here if you see the character starts with t and percent means it can be anything after t. So if you want to search in those scenarios, you will put t percent. The other around, if you want to search the last character, you can just put where column name like percent %t, which will denote all the values ending with t. And similarly, if you know the characters which can exist across anywhere, like in the middle or between start and end, maybe third position or fifth position, if you want to play around in that way, you can use percent set of characters and percent. And similarly, if you combine first one and second one, if you want to search for a string which starts with particular character and ends with particular character, you can use this t percent t. So all these 4 set of examples were related to value test. You can see it's starting with T, it's ending with T, it contains characters or letters E, S, and it's again starting with T and ending with T. So you can play around these kind of examples depending on the usage. And say for example, if you want to conjunct few wildcards, here is one example. Say for the test, you just wanted to say, oh, I want to start with character T and second character can be anything, but the third character should be S and fourth character can be anything. So basically this denotes it's something is there at the end and you're starting with T, E, S. So instead of E, we just put T underscore S %. That means any set of string which starts with T, whatever second character S, it will list out that particular set of string as an output. So I hope you got a glimpse of what is wildcard, what is like command, and what are the various wildcard characters we can use. So let's start playing around in real time. So let's go into the SQL server and let's use these examples. Okay, here we go. So to start playing around the wildcard, so let's see what we got in this particular table, customers, which we created earlier. So you could see customer table as 5 records with the columns customer ID, customer name, address, city, and country. So let's start using some wildcard search criteria and then we'll try to retrieve the records accordingly. As I said, if you want to use wildcards, the default syntax is select star from table name. You must use where clause and whatever column name you would like to use, and most importantly the like operator should exist. So without like operator you can't search for the wildcards. So keep in mind, it's very essential that we follow this syntax. Select command including where and like operator. So let's start with the first one. So you know what is the data under test customer table. You could see we got 5 records in customers. So let's search the customer table where I want to view the records where customer name starting with C. So as you can see we have 4 records. So let's see what will be the output. So I'm going to execute this and you could see yes, we got 4 records because it contains C as the starting letter. So now let's do the other way. What as an address, if I want to find any record with T as the last character in the address. So let's search it and see what we will get. See, you could see all these 4 records were having T in the last position. So you could see 1 test rate, 2 test rate likewise. So similarly, now I want to play around the other behavior which we discussed earlier. I want to define what will be the starting character and what will be the ending character. Now I want to view the records. So in this case I want to view customer tables where city like starting with L ending with N. So let's see what will happen. So here we go. You could see 2 records populated where city is London, which starts with L and ends with N. So now we have used various combinations. So what if I know only partial characters and if I want to find anything which contains those particular set of characters? So if you search this where I am searching for customers table where address contains characters test. So you could see again 4 rows because it contains test in the address column. So likewise we can play around with the %. So let's go around with other wildcard commands. So I've again created some examples for our quick reference. So here, so underscore, as I said, underscore we will use it to mimic one of the characters. So in this case, if I search this, we are asking SQL, okay, come on, can you retrieve some records from the customers table where city is like something at the start and it contains the letter ARIS. So when you search it, SQL will search in the table and it found out one record with city as Paris. You could see we have substituted P with underscore. So this is a very important command. And similarly, let's play around on the square brackets. Say in this case, I don't want to say one record. I could say, okay, set of characters. If it contains, it starts with that particular letter, can you define me? Can you show me the output? So if you search this, you could see yes, it has listed out two records where city is London because it contains the set of characters LON at the starting position. So likewise, if you want to go, okay, now I want to see, I don't want any cities which starts with letters LON. So if you want to do that, as I said, you should use the caret or exponent symbol. So let's search this. So you could see here, we are getting all other rows where city is not London. So likewise, say if you want to merge this, okay, now what I want is, I want to search a city which has P in starting position and it has got some set of range of characters after P and then it has got R. So we want something like P with set of characters and R in third position and anything else after that. So when you do that, this is very interesting. You could see two records which are displayed. That's purely because if you see, the city contains P in starting position and R as a third character. Since we have defined the range A to E, that means anything between A and E, that is A, B, C, D and E, it's going to display. So that is the reason we got Paris as one record and PER, pair as other record. So likewise, we can use and we can combine, merge these wildcard characters. So similarly, I have written another example where I want to view the numeric range. So in this case, I wanted to say, okay, from the customers table, I want to fetch records where customer name like cust, C-U-S-T with any number between 1 and 5. So when you run that, you could see we got 4 records displayed because the customer name is cust1, cust2, cust3 and cust4. So this is again, we are trying to club the range with percent. So likewise, you can play around with all these particular set of wildcards, and this is very helpful, and especially when you appear for any interview, the wildcards is definitely in the questions list. So they are going to ask you how you are going to find particular character at the start or at the end or in the middle, or how you're going to substitute, or how you are going to use range, and what if you don't want to find anything not in that particular range. So I'm sure like once you play around with these wildcards, it will be easy to remember. So please do practice. I hope this session helps you to learn on the wildcards. Please do like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you again. Signing off, Suri.